had a 1 hour lecture for education practice, which is going to be a really interesting module, I think, in coinciding with this learning diaries, because we are quite literally learning about how people learn. So I'm going to probably be able to apply some of those theories onto this one. And the main thing today was, once again, it's an introductory lecture, so she really just outlined the entire module. So the actual lecture probably isn't that interesting. However, I did do some reading afterwards, which once again, it was annotations. For this module, we had to do work experience beforehand, well, during or beforehand, or at some point we have to complete work experience. I did 2 weeks in a school in Ipswich School, during which I had a journal, which I don't actually have on me, but I did make a journal. And so while I've been reading this, I have actually been writing down examples of where I saw this theory being used in a school, which I think is really helpful, because it means I'm now seeing it from my own experiences rather than from what I've just been reading, because I find it really difficult to understand to really put that into my own words, what they're saying, because it's talking about like the 3 schools of learning, the behaviour of school, and I wouldn't have been able to quite grasp, well, what they're doing. We did do an activity, I think, or we will be doing an activity. So yes, that was that. And the other thing I did today was I actually went with a group of friends. There was 3 or 4 of us in total, and we just went over to Colt. We just sat in the bar, quiet time of day, and we sat there and we just discussed the autobiographies, which I found really helpful, because we really discussed what we had put in our own works, or what we had annotated. And it's really helpful because it means that when I go in on Wednesday and we talk about the work we've already used or we've already annotated, I'm not going to be completely shy. I will be quite confident saying, well, I've already looked at this and we all agree on this sort of idea, which will be really helpful. And it's also helped me because they've given me some new ideas, and they've sort of helped me figure out what these theories actually mean. Because I mean, if there was a theory and I didn't quite understand, my friend was able to put it in words other than what my lecturer had said, and I was just like, that makes sense. It was the same for them as well. I was able to do that for them, and it's been really helpful. And it's also made sure they actually understand what the autobiographies are trying to say, because they're a bit strange. They use very strange language for a lot of it. Oops, I just shook that, didn't I? Oops. Yeah. And so now in, say, Confessions, I've got quite a lot. In Confessions, I've now got quite a lot more annotations, and I've been able to highlight different things that I wouldn't have thought of personally, but because they have pointed out to me, I now know myself, actually that is a good point, and I will use that. And these are all going to be going towards an assessment in November, so it's really, really important that I managed to get all my annotations down, and so that's what I have done. What else have I done? I've added a bit more to my dissertation journal. I've started one online as well. I've started using Google Drive instead of Word, because it's really helpful, making sure all my stuff is online all of the time, so it doesn't matter where I go. I haven't got to try and remember a USB pen, which I tend to forget every time. So yeah, I've been looking at new I want to do an atonement, and I've been trying to figure out what theory I'm going to apply to atonement. The other thing I've got to do is read all their books, all the Ian McEwan's books, which is going to be fun. I'm going to try and figure out from there what I'm going to do. I need to make a tutorial, because I think talking out with a supervisor or one of the tutors is going to be really helpful to me to figure out exactly what I'm actually going to do, because at the moment I'm kind of got loads of ideas from loads of different critics about where I could take it further. However, I haven't actually figured out exactly what to narrow it down on. I think that's the next step for me, because I've got to have my proposal in a few weeks, and I'm really not far enough for that. So I have a feeling that's what Monday's going to be spent doing, is figuring that bit out.